This module is number 9. We had to do a halo eye, and they also talked about strobing and contouring, which they did talk about contouring before. And y'all know I'm I can't help it. I had to do a dark lip, and so I'm curious about her feedback. But what my issue is, number 1, is this eye is tearing upward. So this inner corner is looking crazy because you can see the tear traveling upward. I did do an inner corner highlight, which I don't remember if they said to do. But I did that because y'all know, if you've been here, I don't always like how my halo eyes look. And I don't usually like it when I bridge it, because then it just looks like I just got like a black circle around my eye. And so, but the way they taught it, and I know they also say, you know, discretion according to the eye shape you're working with, but I want to do the lesson. So it's like, do I do everything they say? Which I kind of didn't, because they didn't take the lid shades up here either, which I did, because if I would have just did the crease shade, the transition shade here, and the lid shade just down here, it would have, when I look this way, it would have just looked like a regular eyeshadow look. And so I was kind of torn, like, okay, how do I do this and it looks somewhat okay? I don't know. So it was challenging, and halo eyes are challenging for me. And I did find a way that I like doing halo eyes, and it was the second to the deepest color all the way out and all the way in, which they did say put the dark shadow all the way out and all the way in. So at first I was like, I don't like that on me. And then they took a shade that was a little bit darker and put that here. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what I do. The second darkest shade is all the way out, all the way in, and then the darkest is in here. So they did do that. And then they put the shimmer like in the middle. I did realize a while ago that I like my halos when it's just a strip of light. And so I went kind of wide by accident. And so I kept bringing over this dark shade to kind of narrow it down. And this is what happened. Excuse me. And since they did say to bridge it, instead of bridging it with this shade out here, and that's all the way in here, because then that would have just like, I just really don't like that on me. So I'm really interested to see what her feedback is about this. So what I took was a shade that's almost my skin tone, just a little bit deeper, but not this dark. And that's what I bridged it with. So that's what I did that with. And then I took a shimmer shade for brow bone and inner corner. This outer corner shade is first half of lower lash line. The second shade, did I say that backwards? This outer shade is the first half of lower lash line. And the deepest shade is the second half of lower lash line. I do think my wings are a lot better. And for this lesson, they said if someone has hooded lids, they said don't bring the wing all the way out, where in the previous lesson, when they were talking about eyeliner, you know, she said have them look down. No, she said have them look straight and draw the line out and then bring it up, because it was supposed to be, I guess, I don't know what to call it, but she was saying, you know, when you look down, as long as everything just looks straight and tapered, well, no, excuse me, excuse me, y'all. When they're looking up, just draw the line and bring it back and taper it inward. And she said, as long as when they're looking at you, if it looks straight, that's good. And then she said, when you look down, though, it'll look distorted. And I call that the bat wing, and that's what the YouTube streets call a bat wing. But for this module, they were saying if it's a hooded eye, just do a tiny wing and don't even come up to where the crease is. And so which is my baby wings. And sometimes I will make it a little longer. And so it's just curious how, for different lessons, they teach a different way, but then I know also it's because of the eyeshadow look that they're having us do. You know what I'm saying? And so you tailor your wing to the eyeshadow look and the effect that you're going for. And so I do think I got closer to the lash line today, so I do think the eyeliner along here is good. I just don't know about the halo part, because I'm on the fence about it. I do really think it looks like a halo look, but whether it looks right or not, because of all this puffiness, and also bringing up a shimmer shade up here just makes it protrude and it looks more puffy. But I didn't just want to put, you know, this brown shade all the way through here, because then it just would have been like a smoky eye with a little bit of shimmer like right here. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll see. And y'all, I went with a dark lip. I just had to, and so I'm curious to see what she says about the lip. I did put a gold shimmer just here in the center. I did clean up the lower lash line with a lip pencil, And I am loving my brows. I have been loving my brows for the last week or so doing these lessons. And so this is how my brows are most likely going to be from here on out. But I'll let you know what her feedback is. I did write a note on the paper if that one eye was turning upward and downward. So if it looks brighter, it's because it's tearing upward and it's causing it to crease. And I did try to build up this side and it wouldn't build up any further. So then I tried to tone this down with this shade that's up here. And then it still kept tearing worse and worse. And once this starts, there's really nothing to do unless I just put a different shade here altogether. But then if it keeps tearing, it's going to still keep creasing in that area. I did say I used 4 shades on the lid. For the look, they only did 3. Because sometimes, like, this looks like the same shade. These are 2 different shades. And I took, you know, picture with the eyes closed, picture with the eyes open, and a picture this way with my eyes closed so she can see the shape and see the wing. And I see the strobing better in person. In the pictures, because I was under a bright light, it's not really that noticeable, but I did tell her I did the strobing, I did the contour. And so to you, it probably looks regular, like how I normally do my blush and contour, which I use interchangeably. But for the strobe, like, you see this brightness, and they did bring it like up here, and I know some people do that. And, you know, she took some strobing like up here in this area, so I did that. This area I did my Cupid's bow, which I don't like for me, and I did the chin. So I'm doing the stuff they're saying, and I am comfortable doing it. I just don't like it for me, and I don't know if it even came through in the picture that I did the strobing. And so that's why I did a picture like this, just to see if she would see the other stuff. So I'm really in it, y'all. So I will let you know what her feedback is, and so hang tight to hear that, and also to see what she thought of my notes about the issues and stuff like that. And I did tell her I use a different shade to bridge it as well, not this outer corner shade, because of the shape of my eye and the puffy transition area. So I am hoping for feedback from her on how to do a halo better. And like I said, for me, I like it best when it's just like a strip. And I've done it before with this pencil, where I did the outermost, innermost, and then inside, and I bring it in, and I used this brush, and I just did a strip down the middle, and then I just went back and forth to blend the edges. That halo eye I like the best for me. Today I used the Hourglass brush, which is a wider brush, and I'm like, this is a mistake. But we're going to see what she says. I hope she doesn't want me to resubmit it. I hope that she understands, not to say understands, but yeah, that she, from my note, that she knows I'm aware of the stuff. Because other feedback was, you know, it's good that I'm aware of whatever. So I'm hoping she doesn't say redo it, because I'm still not going to like how it looks on me unless I do just really do a strip. And y'all, it's taking me an hour from start to finish when I do these looks. And when I just do my makeup for me, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm really trying. I'm really taking in what they're saying to do. And just that awareness and remembering in my mind, like, what they were saying, what to do, how to do it. So that's what's making it take an hour. Like, seriously, a straight 60 minutes for the last few looks I did. It took me to do those looks. So I'm looking forward to her feedback. I will let you know what she says. And so hang tight, because here we go. Hey, y'all. So we have another critique for module number 9, which was the halo, the strobing, and the contouring. This is module 11. There's 2 assignments for that one. This one is a creative look. Okay, I've done more creative looks than this. I was trying to stay somewhat to what they did, even though they said do whatever you want to do. So this is, the only thing I don't like is where I put this right here, because that looks like mud on my face. This line right here, and it looks worse on this side. But other than, because it makes it look like I have a mask on. That's the only thing I don't like about the look. Well, one of the things I don't like about the look. The other thing I don't like about it is for the eyeliner. I like how I did these 2 lines here, and y'all know I am and have been enjoying playing with graphic liner, doing different stuff up here, not so much down here. And so I put lines here, and it looks like it's just one blob, but it's actually it's actually 4 lines here. But looking at it up close, you can see where the lines stop. But looking at the inside part, it just looks like it's just one thing. And even back here, it looks like it's just one thing versus there's distinct lines here. And what I did was I placed them too close together. So that's what that was. And I was going to run a line up here, and I'm like, let me just stop. This same color is also on my upper lash line. I got a really super thin line, y'all. And I used this Inglot brush. And even though it's frayed, just using just the tip, I was able to get a super thin line on my upper lash line, and I'm loving that. The palette that I used for this look, this limited edition It's Nobody's Business from MAC. And we used, let me hold it right, so well, let me see. We used the black on the lid, and what they were saying made sense. They did put down a black base first. I didn't use a black base because I know I have some like super black shadows. And this is Carbon from MAC. So I didn't even use a black base. But putting this, they said, let me back up. Using the paint pots, I'll put like a few lines and a few lines here and then blend it out. What they did was they said start from your lash line and go upward toward the crease. And so I'm like, that's a tip that I can stick with. And so I took the black and I used the Esom V27. And so I started at the lash line and just tapped it. Of course, I primed the lids with the Fenty primer, which for me is a tacky primer. They say to set the primer. I don't ever do that. And I don't even have a lot of fallout either. This just really looks like a mask. Like, that ain't cute. So I learned not to ever do that again. So I started lower lash line and tapped the black. And I went back in quite a few times and then tapped off. And then went further up until we got to just above the crease. And tap that out. And then I did the same with the blue with the clean brush. Tap that over because they were saying they did use the blue, and they would like take, you know, a deep blue and do that top line. And so I blended that upwards. And so that's this blue up here. And they had a shimmer on the lid, like on the center of the lid. So that little bit of shine you see, that's this shade right here. Inner corner, I believe we used this shade. And this we also topped underneath. But before that, we put MAC Color Excess Stay the Night, which is this deep blue kind of purplish shade on lower lash line and on inner rims. We use Glide or Die from MAC, and this is also a Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner. They use MAC's Inglot Gel Liner, one of the potted ones, for the inner rim. I have never tried that, but you know, and I said it makes sense because that's a gel liner. These are gel liners. This is just a pencil form. So I'm like, I will just use the black. And so this is on the outer half of lower lash line. This is on the inner half of lower lash line. And this is on the center. So the same as we did, well, kind of the same placement as the top. And for this, we put that here. And so I am liking the look. I didn't put anything under the brows. And also for this look, for the brows, they just brushed them upward and filled them in. But because I keep mine trimmed, because they were saying make it look wild, make it look bushy, but this is what we got. And I actually do like my brows. This is just really throwing me off. I really do like how my brows look for this. And they did a simple look, of course, because let all the focus be up here. So I took this NYX retractable lip liner, and the shade is Natural. It's a little too light for me, but that's okay. And then I used a lip brush to put Cookie Jar, which Grace has sent me. This is from Fenty, excuse me, and it's one of the creams. And so I put this on. I did use a lip brush because this can go on super thick. Excuse me, the lip brush wasn't doing what I wanted to do, so I just took this out, what was already out, but then I just kind of like wiped a lot of it off and went around because it wasn't letting me get to my lip line to cover up this, because this was way too, it almost looked chalky. It was just too light, and I thought it would be a natural color for me, and it does go with this, but I just had to cover it up because you can tell that it wasn't quite right. The Beyond Mascara from City Beauty, which I'm really digging. Also for lower lash line, I took a silver NYX retractable eyeliner, and then I topped that shadow right there. So that's the eye look, and I'm loving the eye look, and I do think it's like an amazing smoky eye. And so I'm gonna write this down because I do really think I'm gonna do it again. And I liked the tip that they said, start with lash line and go upward, instead of how I had been placing the gel liner here and then trying to hurry up and blend it out. And then sometimes the edges would be harsh. But we will see what her critique is for this. I did play around with strobing again. And I just put, actually I use Fire Opal from Luvs there. And I did use it as a cheek highlight, but I put some here as well, and some on my chin, and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. But because where I stand for pictures is hella bright, because they want you to have natural lighting, and I'm like, y'all, I got up tonight at 9 p.m. So y'all not going to see me doing anything in natural light for makeup unless I'm up for an appointment. And for blush, I went really simple. This is Pomelo Peach from Luvs, and I use both Luvs bronzers. I use a Pat McGrath foundation, M18, Pat McGrath primer. Fashion Fair said it loose truly tawny powder to top that. This is the Inglot liner on my upper lash line, and this is shade 87. And so I thought it would be nice to just not have a black. And so that's, I think, everything that's on my face today. I used a ton of brushes. I was very strategic, very detailed. So I'm really trying to do the things. And it is quite a process. It took me an hour from start to finish for this look. And that's because I'm still learning. Like, once I get everything down, I will definitely do a smoky eye like this again with this technique, because I think it's really nice. And having that spot of shimmer just on the center lid, I think is really nice. This right here, I know I didn't write anything about this right here, but I knew she's gonna be like in her mind, what the fuck is that? And so I didn't even write anything. I know that's jacked up. I mean, if I, like, this way it's not so bad, but it looks like mud. So it looked like I have like goggles on my face. Yeah, that ain't cute. And in the demo, they use glitter. I have no glitter. They also use gold flakes. I have no gold flakes. And so I was trying to do something, but they said you don't have to do that look, just be creative and just do whatever. But for me, I need to see something and then just recreate it and make it my own at the same time. And I was thinking of a friend of mine. She sent me a look she did, and I was like, because I don't have that kind of creativity, so I was just like, oh my gosh. But I do miss doing the IG Creative Art with Heart collabs, because those were very inspiring for me. And I realized I do have a creative streak. It's just buried and it's hibernating. So it does take for me to see something and draw inspiration from that. And they do say, look on Pinterest, look on, do Google searches for looks. And so there are ways to see things that I'm like, oh, I want to try something similar to that and make it my own. And so that may be something that I will need to do for creative looks. And so actually right now I'm going to commit to doing creative looks. So I am going to find pictures and here and there scatter throughout my content. Not anytime soon, not anytime in the next couple of months, because I need to just come down off of all of this. But that is something I'm going to do, and I'm going to write a note so I don't forget, because I do believe that would really help me. And if I have clients that are like, hey, I want something really just woo, or I'm going to whatever type of event, whatever the theme is, to do a creative look that fits that theme. And one thing I will say about some of the events at Baltimore Playhouse, when they have them themes, people will dress up, they will do face paint, they will do like the outfits. And so I can see where people would be like, hey, I'm going to this event, this is the theme, can you do my face? You know what I'm saying? And so I do see that happening. And I am excited about that, but I know I need to continue to improve and to continue learning. So on to the feedback. So I will come back and let you know what her feedback is for this look. Again, this is module 11. There was not an assignment for module 10. There was a lot of stuff to look at and a lot of stuff to learn, but no homework assignments. And so she gave me feedback for module 9. The halo look, I had told y'all it was busted because I took the lid, the halo part, that shimmer, I took it up way too high and it made my puff area look like it was protruding. So her critique for that, which I agree with, is she was saying, and I did it for this look, it may not look like it though. She said, not that it's a halo look, but I mean, it kind of could be a soft one. She said, just take the halo shade, I'm trying to look straight, but I can't. Well, yeah, I can. Take it just above the crease, like just right here. And that's kind of what I did for this look, was just took the brush like right here in the center and then looked down and like filled it in and did this part. And so I do agree with that. But even though I've done other halo looks before that I like, and I did take the shades higher up, but I think it was also the shade that I used for that, the color that I used for that, I think was just not a good choice because it was so sparkly, and that's just going to make it look protrude. And so I found it ironic though that she was saying bring that down lower when previously some of the feedback was take the lid shades up higher. But then for a halo look for me, because I have all this puff, it is challenging. And I did finally figure out a way to do a halo look that I like it, and that's with just a strip of light down the center, but then blend it out. And she did say the blending was a little bit off from the halo look from the other colors, and I agree with that. And I did go too wide with the halo part, so I do understand that. She said she liked the colors that I used for the look. But she said the spotlight part should be barely visible when I'm looking up. And halo looks I usually do see some up here, so you know, so there's that. She said the blending was good color choices. She loved that I did a dark lip, y'all, because I was like, I don't know if they ready for this. I don't know if they ready for this. She said the lip, excuse me for smacking, really complimented the outer corners of the halo eye. So I was really like, okay, she's digging a dark lip, because y'all know I love a dark lip. So this to me, I'm just like, okay, back to the nude or neutral. And I made it a point not to use from House Labs, because this one does show up a little bit darker, even though it looks lighter in the component. And so that's why I chose Cookie Jar and lined the lips with a nude liner, because my other liners, I had to open this to use this one, are darker. She said the strobing I did was nice and the contouring I did was nice. And I thought the contouring was looking kind of muddy, but she said the contouring looked good. I was like, oh, okay. And she said the strobing was good. In the picture, she can see some of the strobing. She said she saw it with some of my Cupid's bow and a little bit, you know, up here. But I had also did my chin and I did some strobing, you know, here. But because, as I said, where I stand, the light is so friggin' bright, it does wash out. And that reminds me to do a little bit more with blush. Because right here, you can see this blush. And this is Pomelo Peach. Did I tell y'all that already? From House Labs. And so you can see it here. But under a bright light, you cannot see that, you know what I'm saying? And so I have to remember to just pack on the blush, even if it's a light shade like this, pack it on, because whether I'm doing pictures for me or if I'm doing somebody else's face and they're going to be having pictures taken, if it's going to be flash photography or if they're somewhere in a bright light, it still should be seen, you know what I mean? And so I am really learning, and stuff is sticking in my mind. So for this look, you know, a before picture and then an after picture side by side, and then I took another picture of this, and then with my eyes closed, and then this and this one, because this is the better side, because this just looks like it's all just one thing, and that it's not, you know, 4 different lines. Is it 4 or 5? 4 different lines. So a picture like this and then one like this with my eyes closed, because I wanted her to see the different lines. This right here is just awful, and for her to see the cheek stuff and the contour and all of that. So y'all, what percentage am I forget what percentage I am in the program. This is module 11. It goes up to module 16, and after that it's just like bonus lessons and bonus stuff. So I am just really excited, y'all. I am moving along. I started the lessons on, I think, I want to say August 3rd maybe, and today is August 21st. And so I'm like pumping it out, and I'm finally having a balance of what to do when, because I was really struggling for a while there. And so I'm learning how to balance this with other stuff, and I feel really good about it. Like, look at my face. I feel really good about, I don't feel good about this thing, the mask thing over here, but I feel good about what I'm doing and what I'm learning. Yeah, and I have some other stuff to talk about, but I'm going to wait on that. So I'm going to fix lunch. You will see me soon. Yeah, her feedback is really good. It is really good. Some stuff surprised me. She said the contour was good. I thought it looked muddy. And I knew the halo eye was busted, but you know, the blending is good. She liked the color choices. She loved the dark lip. And so I felt good about that, because y'all know I love a dark lip. I would have did a black lip for this. I don't think they're ready for me to do a black lip for every look from here on out, but we're going to go. So hang tight. If you're not subscribed, please do, because I do have a lot more stuff coming up with this program and things associated with the program. And as I said, doing creative looks here and there. So go ahead and subscribe, and also consider joining the membership, because they're going to see stuff that I'm not going to put for everybody, because it's just like extra stuff, like how they have bonus stuff. You know, the membership stuff will be bonus stuff, but I am not done at all with the program or with things that I'm going to talk about, or stuff that's going on with me rounding out my kit. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, and I'm excited, and I appreciate you being here with me for the journey. So stuff will pop up for you to watch. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.